Hey guys, Tyler Ansman here with Tyleranzmannperformance. All gas, no brakes is something that people like to say when they're talking about elite performance, whether it's in baseball, sprinting, or field and court sports. But is it actually effective? No. All right, deceleration is necessary for maximal velocity in any of these events. Okay, so when we talk about field and court sports, we can think about changing direction. In order to effectively change direction, it's not just about how fast you move, it's about how fast you can stop and then redirect that energy, right? It sounds simple enough, but when we're talking about high-level athletes, we're talking about stopping a significant load, okay? So when Barry Sanders embarrassed somebody back in the day, it wasn't just that he was running really fast, it was that he could stop himself faster than them and then get out of that faster. Okay, so we're looking for high levels of eccentric and isometric strength. So lengthening, stopping, and then kind of transitioning out of that. All right, so we're talking about single output events like jumping as high or as far as possible or throwing as hard or as far as possible. We're really talking about the summation of speed principle. So what that means is that we're looking for the same thing as the kinetic chain. So the previous link in the chain has to be accelerated to its maximal velocity, then abruptly decelerated, which then accelerates the next piece, right? So it basically has this stable base for the next thing to push off of, almost probably an easy way to think about it, all right? So in pitching, right, the front leg stops the forward momentum, kind of redirects that energy against the direction of the throw as well as vertically, all right? And then we get effective energy transfer into the torso and then eventually into the ball, right? And we talk about basketball, players going in for a dunk, they have to stop that forward momentum and transfer it vertically to go upwards as high as they possibly can. Right? In either of these cases, if they can't effectively stop, they're not maximizing energy transfer there. So kind of an easy way to think about the summation of speed principle and the difference between good and poor deceleration is jumping off of concrete versus jumping off of sand. All right? So when you jump off of concrete, we have a pretty sturdy base to push off of. So we can pretty well maximize the energy transfer into the direction we're trying to go, right? When we're jumping off of sand, we're getting a lot of energy leakage. You kind of see this happening when the sand is being pushed away from your foot. And you can also kind of see this in the results of each jump, right? It's going to be higher on concrete than it will out of sand, okay? So how does this show up in other sports, right? When we're looking at volleyball players, they don't have the benefit of being on the ground. So when they're looking to kind of stop something, they can't do it with their lower body. They have to do it with a different part of their body. So we're looking for their core musculature and especially that non-dominant side to really provide the stability to accelerate the spiking arm around, all right? So this is kind of like the example of the catapult, right? It may seem like it would be helpful to kind of push or pull the catapult in the direction that you're trying to launch an object, but what you're actually doing is you're taking away that stable base and then you're kind of not maximizing the elastic force that you'd be able to get. The same thing's kind of happening with that non-dominant arm. So we see this in throwing, we see this in tennis serves, we see this in volleyball spiking, whatever. If this doesn't effectively stop, we just keep rolling through this, we don't have that kind of stable piece to accelerate the dominant side around, right? It seems like pulling aggressively would help, but it's kind of the same thing as the catapult. So now the question really becomes, how do we effectively train deceleration? That's the topic for the next post. Stay tuned.